Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So it's October 13th. It has rained for the last day, well, night and day, and it is too wet to do anything out in the field. So we're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to do some excavating work this morning. We've got a 72-inch by 40-foot long culvert that we're going to put in for a crossing here at my cousin Matt's place. Kind of parked my truck next to it for a little size comparison. It's a good size pipe. We're going to be using the Hyundai 220 to set this pipe in, and we're probably going to bring the 270 also because we need it with a ditch bucket on it to clean through here before we set the pipe. So this is the old crossing, not very wide at all. You can see just about the width of a pickup basically. It's got some holes in it. I believe it's an old tank car and it's rusted out. So we're going to dig all this out, clean all this up. We got some big stumps. We got one here. We got one here about 6 or 7 years ago, I think it was. I clear cut this whole ditch and debrushed it all. And I'm hoping that these stumps have had time to rot enough that a lot of the root mass has gone off of them and they'll come out fairly easy. And I won't have to do a lot of digging around them. So let's get started, get all this cleaned up, see what we got. And then we'll get some fill dirt moved in here. Dad's going to haul some in. Dad and George are working on that. And then we'll get this pipe set back in and start backfilling. So let's get started, see how far we can get on this today. It'll be a workout for the 220 on that big stump. I mean, that is a big stump. Look at the size of this thing. Alright, let's get started. Alright, let's see what we get into. We've got a frost-free hydrant right there, so we can't disturb that. I believe there's a garden hose there already. Let's get some of this little stuff out of the way here. See what we got going on. Got to get the thumb and quick coupler changed out on this machine. Got it all laying there at the shop. Got a new work brow coupler, new work brow thumb. Just got to get it changed out. And actually, this thumb has been spoken for. It's going to a farmer that has a older 210 Hyundai. That's going to go on it. But he said he wasn't in a big hurry for it, so whenever we got a chance to get it off and get it to him, that'll be fine. Really excited about getting the work brow one put on. It's got an altogether different profile. This is probably going to be a fun stump to get out. It's a pretty good sized cottonwood. I'm hoping it's pretty rotten, but we'll see what happens. Hooked on a big root right now. Force the boom down, curl the bucket at the same time, use the leverage, bust them roots. Yeah, there's a big root down there. Garden hose was going. Well, Matt did have cows on that side of the ditch at one time. That's probably where it was going. That stump's rocking. tires in there. That was the thing back in the day. They used to stack tires at the end of these crossings, so that way you didn't have to have such a wide pipe. You wouldn't have your tapers down. They would stack the tires and it'd act like a retaining wall. It's a good use for used tires. We don't do that anymore. We just put wider pipes in and put riprap on the ends. There's a root right in there I gotta break. Oh, let's get that rock out of there. Yeah, that was another thing back in the day. You had rocks, you just come and threw them in the ends of your crossings. I've seen a lot of different things on the ends of crossings. The county's favorite thing to do was to shove in old cutter edges from snowplows or road graders, and then they would put the old wooden bridge planks behind them. They're creosoted, so it'd last a while. I've seen it all. I-beam utility poles. About the most interesting one I seen was a guy had worked for a telephone company, and he had taken old telephone poles, and when he worked at the telephone company, he took his bucket truck, and he took the bucket truck and he shoved the utility poles down at the end of the culvert and put more utility poles behind them to help retain the dirt. And it was out in the muck, so he was able to shove them in. He shoved in like 30-foot long utility poles with a bucket truck down in the muck because it was bottomless muck. And I had to tear all that out. Oh, it's been, well, this last summer. And I'm pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. And this pole just keeps coming and coming and coming. I'm like, holy crap, how long are these? Well, they were like 30, 35-foot long poles. Like, wow. Oh, it's kind of crumbly. I've just seen the whole thing move. Can't be much holding it. It's coming. It's nice it's crumbly because that means it'll break up once we get it out. Oh yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted. There we go. Nice. It's going to split up, so it's not going to be one big chunk to burn. That's always the bears when they stay one big chunk. You're trying to burn them and just can't get them burned up. That's why I like to split stumps. Cottonwood don't normally like to split though. It's such a twisted up wood, or it grows so twisted up. And get it to where I can get a bite on it. Still a heavy stump even though it's dead. Beat it around a little bit and get some of the dirt knocked off of it. I'd like to break it one more time if I could. Let me back up a little bit. Alright, I'm going to move this over here to where it can be burnt or shoved in the woods. and we'll get the other ones out. Alright, so we'll clean up a little bit on this side and see what we got over here. Bush honeysuckle out of the way. I did find Cousin Matt has a brush pile up there in the woods, so that's where I'm going to go with everything. I got that big cottonwood stump moved up there. Looks like we got us another big cottonwood stump here. Hopefully it's the same deal, nice and rotten, which it looks like it is. George got me a load of fill dirt brought. In the woods for later disposal. I was really happy to see that this culvert is all one pipe. It's not banded together, so that's going to be nice. As if you've watched in my previous videos, some of them that we've had to band together, they've been a real bear. But this one is all one 40-foot section, so no band necessary. Usually we band two 20s together, or do like a 20 and a 25, and I need to shut this door. There we go. The door wasn't completely latched shut. My camera is bouncing. The door's driving me crazy. Ooh, this one's a tough one yet. There's be some big roots down in there. Yep. Stuck between my teeth. Sometimes we've had a 30 and the county's wanted it 40, so you got to band 10 foot on it. Like, it just doesn't seem like it's worth it. I'd rather go, another 20 foot on it. But, sometimes they try to save all the money they possibly can by getting just enough. I like to have plenty of pipe sticking out on each side of the ditch. It's just safer when you can have a very nice flat top. Ideally, when I do a crossing, well, before we had a 16-row planter, I always like to make our crossings so you can cross them with at least a 12-row corn planter without having to fold it. So that was always, I always tried to make them 30 foot of flat on top. And that would allow enough for the carrier wheels of the planter to run on the flat and get across safely. Well, this one's going to be a real booger. Have a good sized taproot down there. Well, we'll get it. It's going. It's going. Yeah, that one's still fairly healthy. nice to have Let's Dig 18330 for a little more lifting power. Yeah, we might get... Oh, yes, look at that. Oh, it's split. Wonderful. That'll make life easier. Oh, yes. I think the old 220 was going to do it, though, without it splitting. Go ahead, since we've got it nice and grabbed, we'll just go ahead and carry it and put it in the pile. That chunk's heavy. These stumps are heavier than they look, really. I bet there's every bit of 6,000 pounds there. 3 tons, probably. Hard to tell without weighing it. I always thought it'd be cool to have an integrated scale in an excavator, just so you could see how much weight was in the bucket. And I'm sure you can do it. I'm sure it's been done because they've got the load rate scales on wheel loaders, so I'm sure there's a way that you could do it with an excavator. Like the load rate scales, I believe they go off of the pressure in the boom lift cylinders on a loader. So I'm sure you could do it on the boom lift cylinders on an excavator to get pressure for the scale. I'll have to ask my buddy in Virginia, Willie. He's pretty up to date on load rate scales. His WA 500 Komatsu loader that he loads out of their pit with has them. So he knows some stuff about them. And he's educated himself quite well. So I'll talk to him about those. Alright, I'm going to go get the other piece and take it to the pile. Well, digging this other stump out here, I found some pickle vine. I'm going to show you what pickle vine looks like. I'll bring it up here to the cab. So that's what they were spraying for with the drone in my drone video. It's called burr cucumber, but all the old timers call it pickle vine, and that's what I've always called it. But it's got little fuzzy pickles that grow on it, and they're pokey little shits. I mean, they like, if you have like any glove that's not a leather glove or a very tight like mechanics glove, them little pokies will get in it and they'll work into your glove and they'll poke your fingers, and they're just terrible, absolutely terrible. And that stuff wraps around the auger and the corn heads and the combines, wraps, rolls up. That's why we drone sprayed it, got over it, and got some Liberty sprayed on it. And we done that, about a month or so ago. So now it's dead and it's drying out now. So when we get to it, or get to picking corn, it will be nice and brittle and jerk right through the corn heads and not wrap the augers and all that. So a little bit of a education there on burr cucumber. It's nasty stuff. The problem is you can have a field that's completely clean of it one year, and then the next it's there, and it's a plague. It really is. It's terrible stuff. The deer can walk through, and those little pickles get stuck in their hair, and they'll transfer it across fence rows. So it's just tough stuff to get rid of. I mean, it's one of them weeds that we fought for years in this area, and it's just hard to get rid of it. So, but we've got some farms that had major issue with it when we started farming them, and we've got it whittled down to a few small patches, and we're gaining on it. But you know, as soon as a deer walks through that patch, it takes it somewhere else. So, and another thing that helps to keep from spreading it is to blow your combines off. You know, pick up the row dividers when you're done with that field, take your air compressor or leaf blower and blow all that stuff off, and that'll keep from transferring it to other farms. And we do that a lot. Alright, I think that's the last big stump. Well, we're going to start digging this crossing out and see what we got. Looks like we got some railroad ties. I'm sure we're going to find a bunch of crap. Let's see what we got. Looks like we got a small stump here. I know there's more tires in there. I'm actually going to dig some from this side, and I'm going to get back across, and I'm going to dig some from the other side so I can have some dirt on both sides of the ditch. Probably going to let the 270 work this side. Well, no, I think we're going to take the 270 to the other side because of this hydrant right here. But I can take some of the material off. I'll stack this over here because that's some pretty good stuff to backfill. That's like a kind of a dirt road, pit run, gravelly kind of mix there. I'll take quite a bit of this off and still get across it with an excavator. The stuff that George is hauling from our place is got a lot of clay in it, a lot of stone in it, so it'll be good backfill material. In fact, I put a couple loads down on each side just to firm it up where the pipe's actually going to be, the new pipe. Firm the banks up a little bit. Put it right there, George. That'll work. This is kind of Dad's stomping grounds, this area where he grew up, and he said this pipe's been in this ditch as long as he can remember. They used to ride snowmobiles over it all the time, four-wheelers over it and stuff like that. So he said this pipe's been in here quite a while. Bet you there's some more tires. Yep, there's some more tires. Kind of figured. Oh, that's the side of the old pipe. There we go. Keep these tires separate. Alright, I'm going to get on the other side. Dig some more out. You know, it might be alright just to go ahead and dig it out from the other side. I think there's enough room to sit over here with the 270 because I got to remember we're not gonna center the new pipe here. We're actually gonna bring it down a little ways down this way, so Dad won't really have to squeeze between that hydrant and the ditch. I think we'll be all right. Alright, I'm going to get to the other side. I don't want to dig it out completely yet because I still need a way to get from one side to the other by just walking. So until the 270 gets here, I won't have a way of doing that. So I can strip some more of this dirt back though. Just bench back a little bit. Get that tire to roll out of there. Well, maybe not. We'll grab it though. There it is. A lot of tires in here. Good place for them though. Better than a landfill or something. See, they're being used for something. Oh, there's some railroad ties. I bet there was some sort of bridge here years ago that somebody had made out of some railroad ties or something, because I keep finding them. It's hard to tell what went on back in the day. That's an old one. Smushy. I do know there's a couple tires down in here I need to grab. Oh, darn. There was near corn, I think. Falled out. There you go. Well, actually, I think I can just walk out along there to get from behind or from out of here. It's not that far to the road. So I guess in theory I could just go ahead and dig this completely out. Sand from that side. There's a rock or something down in there. Get a little more of this cleaned out of here, and we'll take the pipe out. Well, there it is, all cleaned off. It is a riveted together some sort of tank car or something. Could just be an old tank, I don't know. It doesn't seem thick enough for a tank car. And we'll see what we can get it up out of here now. Wanted to bring it out this side so that we got more room. Thing is, I don't see any holes in it, so I don't know where it was. I don't know if it just... Oh, yeah. Well, maybe not. There's some, like, drilled holes in it. See if we can grab it. It's definitely thin on the bottom. This way a little bit so we don't wipe out Cousin Matt's corner post here. Decided to take it out this side because we definitely have more room to work over here. I don't know what his exact plans are to do with this. I don't know if, I'm assuming he's going to scrap it or have us scrap it, one of the two. Just take it out of here. Get it out of the way. Adjust this camera a little bit. There we go. Hey, tire fell out of it. Imagine that. Another tire. Alright, this looks like a good spot for it. Knock some of the rust off of it, dirt out of it. Could have been some sort of boiler tank. I don't know. It's got that hole in it. Roll it over and have another look at it. but it's really not that in bad shape. I don't know where all the holes were coming from. Less water was running alongside of it. You see, I don't know. It's in fairly good shape. Nonetheless, it was too narrow. Let's see if we can bend it back. Take the grease out of it, make it round again. Make a lawn roller out of it. Alright, I gotta go back and dip all that dirt out. Get it prepared for the new pipe. I'll clean this up a little bit. A lot of railroad ties down there I keep finding. I'm not gonna get too crazy digging this out just yet. Just gonna take what feels right out. And we'll use the 10-foot bucket on the 270 to actually dig the final grade, since it's a smooth edge bucket. Right now I'm just making sure there's no big chunks of concrete, no big rocks or anything like that that could destroy the big ditch bucket. It takes a lot to destroy it, to break the cutter edge, but you never know what could be down there. See, like right there, hooked a big chunk of concrete. That looks like an old grain bin foundation. It's half moon. Corn crib or something. Hard to tell what got shoved in here over the years. More tires. Wash them off a little bit. In my tire pile they go. Got one stuck on the bucket teeth. As we backfill, I'll sort through some of this. Keep it off here to the side so it'll de-water and keep it out of my drier stuff. All kinds of goodies down in there. When we're all said and done, we're going to put riprap on each end of this. So we'll probably have to come back. We'll come back Monday and finish that up. We didn't get any scheduled to be delivered today. And I think Cousin Matt even said he was going to cover the top of it with limestone. And maybe put some 53s over the top of it or something like that. This isn't a highly traveled crossing. Basically just to get farm equipment across to farm the, I think there's like, there's 30 acres back here. We actually farmed this place until Cousin Matt bought it. Farmed it for quite a few years. I gotta get that tire off there. It'd drive me crazy. Nice thing about our sand is this will be de-watered by the time we're ready to put the pipe back in, so it'll be pretty firmed up by then. I think that's all I'm gonna do on this side. Let Dad shape that side when the 270 gets here. Another tire. Why am I not surprised? Just throw him over here for now. It's almost lunchtime. We'll probably go eat lunch before I put this pipe back in. Well, here I was worried about how I was going to get back across the ditch. I didn't even pay attention to the irrigation bridge right over here. I'll just walk across that. Nice thing about this area, if you ever need to cross a ditch, there's probably an irrigation bridge every so often, most ditches around here. There we go. Just need to dig back that side a little bit. Well, actually, looking at it here, might be able to keep that pipe tight against that side, and that might be about centered. I'll have to get the pipe in there and have a look. We'll peel a little bit of that back though. Alright, it's lunchtime though. We're going to go get some lunch. Well, we got the 270 moved here now. Seen some tires down in here that washed out while we were at lunch. Go ahead and grab them out real quick. Keep as much of that stuff as I can on this side. There's one right there. Dad's gonna start digging that. Get it prepared for our new pipe. Try to keep that mud to one side. We want to put this pipe in just a hair deeper than the old one. Is waving. thing about these steel pipe is they don't float, so we won't have to fight that. Unlike the plastic ones that like to float. Like there was something down there. Railroad tie. Some rocks. Some other crap. Alright, so we're going to finish cleaning this up and then we'll get that pipe thrown in. It's the nice thing about it being all one piece. You don't have to worry about the connection being the weak point. That's why I like to get inside of them and weld them together. Weld the butt ends together. Definitely helps when they're two pieces. Alright. Probably set it there, Dad. Alright. By the time Dad rolls it in, it'll be about right. Well, it floated a little. That's alright. It'll sink. There it goes. It's sinking. Let it get heavy and then we can bump it around where we want it. Alright, got it where we want it. Start burying it. Take a lot of dirt to bury this one. why we hauled quite a bit in this morning. He's trying to tell me. He's over there smoking a cigar, just having a good old time. Get some dirt in, and we'll get some more video later on. Well, it is Monday. We quit on this project on Friday because it was raining pretty good, so we just decided to go back to the shop. We need some fill dirt anyways. We got a lot of it filled in, but just didn't have enough dirt. So we were going to work on it over the weekend, but just the weather did not cooperate, so we're back here Monday morning. We can't get riprap until tomorrow afternoon, so I'm going to backfill what I can, and then we'll come back tomorrow and we will place the riprap on these ends, which this dirt has enough clay in it that it's not going to go anywhere. Even if we do get some more rain, it'll stay put. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this out, and then I'm going to start a second video. And we'll actually do just a video of placing a riprap and finishing the top out. That'll make for a good video. I'll go ahead and kind of pile this up along the top, and then I'll just gently scoot it over the edge. George is going to bring me a couple more loads, and then we'll have it. Gotten a lot of rain in the last couple days. We're not going to be cutting soybeans for a while. We might actually switch to some corn. Got a beaver dam that's causing a water issue on a farm I need to go check out when we're done here. Go see what's going on with that, what I need to do. Problem is, to get to where the beaver dam is, I need to go through the corn, and I really don't want to do that. Very nice corn. So I'm thinking what we might do, we're going to go look the situation over, but I think it might be a job for the L2 gleaner on tracks. We might just pick down to the low ground where the water's affecting with the 2388 and the 1660, and then get the L2 out there on tracks and go through the troubled wet area. If it's not something simple, maybe we can get the beaver dam out with some hand tools. We'll see what happens. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Alright, I'm going to finish placing this dirt and see what we end up with. Eventually I'm going to bring the Bobcat here to grade everything off when we're all said and done. bad part about this spot is everything is funneled down to here from that hill up there where Cousin Matt's shop's at. So all the water ends up down here. So that's why we've got to rip-wrap this and make it pretty tough. Might even have to cut a waterway with some sort of surface drain in it to kind of alleviate the water. We'll see. Well, I got everything packed in, everything's filled in. I think it looks pretty good for now until we get some rip-wrap and get this to dry out a little bit. It's a little bit squishy on top because it's a little bit wet, but it's firm. I mean, it's not like I'm sinking in it crazy, but just sinking that 2-3 inches in there, you know, a little bit. So I think we're good for now. So when you get that rip-wrap tomorrow, we'll start another video and get everything over the edges packed in and looking real nice. I got to shovel a little dirt off of that culvert right there. You can see where there's some ears of corn laying. You just shovel that off each side, and then we'll rip-wrap all that real nice. And it'll be pretty nice and white and stay there and not wash out. Bring the Bobcat back, do some grading. Done quite a bit with the excavator, but it's nice to just use the Bobcat for the final grade. But all right, I'll pat that down a little bit. That don't look too good right there. That little bitty crumb of dirt. It's just smack. Oh, look at that, nice, like putting frosting on a cake. And I see a railroad tie that I'm going to grab out of there if I can reach it. Let me get over here and come back over. Get that rip-wrap down in there, and as I put the rip-wrap in, I'll draw that dirt back down there at the bottom, back towards the crossing, and kind of stand that up a little bit. It's a little bit more tapered than I want it to be right now. But without the rip-wrap there, and as wet as everything is, things are just not cooperating. Brushy stuff in there. Just tuck that right there for now. Drag this down a little bit. Like I said, I'm going to bring the Bobcat for final cleanup. We're going to bring the grapples and rake a bunch of stuff up and clean all this up real nice. Let's get that rock. There we go. Don't want Uncle Doug to hit that rock when he's picking corn. Alright, so that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. We'll see you all in the next one. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that too. So thank you for watching.